I think the most frustrating thing to hear from somebody else, like let's say if you're going into a situation where you're very nervous and uneasy and you have no confidence into doing this event or situation or meeting this person or having this interview, and then someone comes along and they're like, just be yourself. Just be yourself. And you're thinking in your head, well, I don't want to be myself. That's why I'm feeling this anxious, or that's why I'm feeling on edge, because I know how I am and I know I'm going to mess up. And I don't know if people, maybe intuitively we understand why we say that and we know why we say that, but we don't consciously know. And I believe we all know our real self as not our body or not our name. The body and name that we were given here on this planet, we know, I think deep down, that's not the real self. And when you investigate the real self, like the actual self, the self that has no name, that has no form, that has no objective qualities to it, you can't describe it actually. Because it has none of those things. Only the mind can describe things in the objective world, things that it can look at, describe, smell, or sense in all its five senses. That's the only thing it can describe. But the self is indescribable because it's not a thing, an objective thing. So when we say be yourself, we mean that be as if nothing needs to happen. So when you go into that situation where you're let's say that job interview, okay? Job interview. You're going to go into this job interview and you're going to be yourself. You're going to follow the advice that someone said and you're going to just be yourself. And let's say, for instance, you actually know what that means. Like right now, we know that being myself means that nothing needs to happen. Nothing needs to change. Everything's fine. It's already done. It's perfect just how it is. And when you go in that energy, with that energy into that interview where you're so relaxed, you're almost like aloof. Like there's no real expectation of what will happen. If it happens or not. You're like in this such a relaxed place when you go into that interview, speaking to that person. There's no thinking, did I say the right thing? Or, oh, I should say this. Is he or she looking at my twitchy fingers? Are they noticing I'm sweating? Like none of that is going on in your head because you're actually being yourself, and the self does not care or does not mind what's happening. It's completely relaxed. And when you're really relaxed, all the right words just happen to arise in you. All the right responses just come up because you're more open to receiving. You're there, presently there with that person interviewing you, and you can actually just be there without needing to be anywhere else. And they can sense that. People can sense when you are in the self, when you have no agenda. There's no agenda. There's no expectation. There's no extra thought process going on. And people can sense that. And people love that. People love being around people who are just in that self energy, in that empty energy of not trying to find forceful words to say or not trying to act a different way because you think acting that way is going to get you the job. You are just so yourself. And that's where the beauty and magic hides, in that empty nothing. Everything is leading you to nothing. There's going to be a whole lot of nothing conversations in the next several months until I stop doing it. Because I don't really have a main objective on speaking right now on these platforms. It's just kind of happening at the moment. And I just see it as just happening. And maybe it will make sense later, maybe not. But as of right now, this is what's going on. And I'm living in this self energy of spontaneously acting on what needs to be done in the moment, without question, without resistance, and just going with that flow, because there's never been anything else I could do but just go with the flow. And that gives me that peace, that gives me that nothing, that gives me that emptiness. And in that emptiness, joy is there. Well, happiness or joy or fulfillment or success has always been there. It's just that the thinking mind gets in the way of trying to make things happen and trying to figure everything out. And then until that stops, you're finally just at rest, doing things. Like you're restfully doing things. And it's wonderful, it's beautiful. And your life doesn't need to be anything else other than what it is right now. And that can be scary, that can be freeing, that could be wonderful, that could be terrifying, that could be exciting. It could be all kinds of things, whatever it is, but there's one place that you've always been, and it's here. And just go with that flow and just relax into it.